Good day, folks. Thanks so much for tuning back in here with Chris Leader in our studios here at Mortgage Alliance. And today I want to talk about how social media has taken off in the past literally few months. Chris, are you finding that more folks out there are using such devices as Facebook and Twitter, incorporating them into their websites and so on, using email marketing or even video marketing, such as you and I are doing?
Yeah, Leo, I think that we're going to see a tremendous amount of changes going forward in the next decade. The changes are now coming so rapidly in both industries, both mortgage and real estate. The changes are, from a technology perspective, are so overwhelming at times. When I think about where we were, say, even 3 years ago to where we are today and how quickly stuff has changed, we're going to see people using more things like Facebook. We're going to see them using Twitter more effectively, LinkedIn. And when we talk about these technologies, you know, I first want to say that it's imperative today that they have a really great website. And then not only is the website, and the website has to be easy to navigate, meaning that once you land on that landing page, that front page of the website, it's got to be clean and crisp and easy to get around. But also important is having a great website is optimizing it so the search engines can find you. Now, the second part of that is once they find you, what we're going to see more of going forward in the next year and two, and even more so into the rest of the decade, is when they hit that website, they're then going to be transferred over to a CRM system, a client relationship management system that is going to use a spider web of emails to incubate that lead to the point where they are ready to come forward and actually make that purchase, or in your case, get that mortgage. But that CRM, client relationship management system, will be automated, and it will engage the clients and keep bringing them along. Well, all of that's going on, and we're managing our leads more effectively using technology. We are going to see people doing a much better job with Facebook, and we're starting to see it now, where we're getting continuity and consistency in the way their Facebook page looks in comparison to their website. We're going to see that with LinkedIn as well. We're going to see it with Twitter. We're going to see a lot of people starting to use blogs more effectively. It's been around for some time, but we're starting to see it become more mainstream. So we'll see things like WordPress put right into people's websites, where they will blog for 10 or 15 minutes in the morning on a hot topic. They're not going to fall into that dark hole that you see in terms of social media, where people spend 4 and 5 hours there, because that's not where the business is. It is a tool designed to add to your arsenal, but it's not the tool. So it's one of many things they need to be doing. But when you use a WordPress blog, it allows you to automatically link to the other sites, so that you're not cutting and pasting, or you're not typing on a whole bunch of different sites. So it'll make it automatic. So yeah, we are going to see a lot of changes from that aspect, and we're going to see people doing a better job in terms of those clients that they have on their system, retaining those clients, staying in touch. And I'm certain, Leo, you're starting to see it now in the mortgage industry with people doing that from your side.
Absolutely. And you know what, Chris, you touched on a very, very important point here, and that you talked about a database. And sadly, a lot of the real estate professionals that I work with, and I'm sure that you have coached over the past decade or so, don't have a system, a database put together. A lot of them still use the old Rolodex system. They have a notebook with client contacts. What tip would you recommend in segmenting the database, organizing their client list? Because we have various real estate agents with different niche markets. Some specialize in the first-time home buyer market, some specialize with the investor market, some specialize in both. How would you recommend they segment that database, and what type of CRM would you recommend they use?
I think first of all, from a CRM perspective, client relationship management system, I think that they need to do their own homework out there. There's a multitude of different systems available. Some are specific to the real estate industry, some are generic. The one we use in our office is a company called Infusionsoft. We're really happy with it, but it is a very complex system, and it is complicated, and it is expensive to use on a monthly basis. But I think that in terms of managing your data effectively from your data management perspective, what the agents need to understand is that this book of business is going to have a tremendous amount of value going forward in the future. And why it's going to be so important is at some point it will play a large role in their exit strategy or their succession plan in terms of selling their business and actually being able to retire and getting a cash value for it. So there's that perspective of it in terms of managing that data effectively. Secondly, if you think about it, in an agent who's maybe been in the business 10 years, an average agent closes 20 ends a year, you're looking at approximately 200 satisfied clients on that database. After 10 years of being in the business, you shouldn't be in a position where you're out prospecting for new opportunities necessarily, but more so working those relationships that you have and developing your referral and repeat business. When you look at it from that perspective, and if a person's got 200 satisfied clients, and we know that each one of those clients probably knows 4 people a year that are going to buy or sell a piece of real estate, we're looking at 800 ends a year off of that database alone. Even if a client only closed 5%, that would be 40 transactions. In the city of Toronto, with an average end of $10,000 per, you're looking at a $400,000 a year revenue stream off of 5% of the possibilities that exist in that database. So we're going to find the next generation of realtors coming up are going to use technology so efficiently, so effectively. They're going to be out there optimizing their site. They'll be using CRM programs to develop their relationships. They'll be staying in touch with their past book of business. And I personally think we could see less realtors in the industry going forward. And the ones who are here are going to be doing greater volumes in terms of their actual book.
Right, and you know these are great points, and folks, I hope you're taking notes because what Chris is telling us today is an invaluable piece of information, and I know Chris has used a lot of numbers and data in there. However, I think it's a lot simpler to put together these CRM programs and Facebook and Twitter and all that than people think, and you know I'd encourage you folks to contact myself or Chris Leader. We both use these systems to our maximum advantage, and Facebook, for example.
I think Facebook is starting to develop from more of a business aspect to it. I think another site that people need to be aware of is the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube. And video is now playing an incredible role in terms of how agents are going to be doing their marketing. For instance, we shouldn't have testimonials built into our website that are basically a print letter with a picture of a past client that was satisfied. Today, if we want to be really cutting edge, we need to be using video testimonials so people can actually get a feeling for the client's enthusiasm and how they actually felt during the process of purchasing. Another thing we want to be looking at is if you are using anything that's actually typed out, we want to use MP3, and we want to have a hot link where they're going to be able to go right in and get some updated or get some audio and get a feeling for what that client experienced. So I expect that the really top-notch agents, you're going to see way more video content on their sites. You're going to see them with their own YouTube channels. They're going to have consistency between their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their Twitter, their website, and we're going to see them using more MP3 in everything that they do. So, you know, these are all very important parts of going forward, and these are the technologies we're going to see the real estate community using in the next decade.
Absolutely, and again, I think it goes back down to the touch points that you make with your clients and how many times per year or per month or per week, in fact, you are making contact with those clients. And I can't say, Chris, that there is a magic formula out there in terms of how many times is the magic number to contact your client, but I know in my business, what works is valuable information that's timely, as often as possible, without overwhelming them with information.
I think it's really important, Leo, you mentioned something there, and I want to really emphasize it. It's the valuable information, because today we're inundated with, and I don't know how else to put this, but too much crap. We are inundated with all kinds of emails, and we're spammed all kinds of stuff. And one of the things we're going to see going forward in the next decade is you're going to see people have to opt into a list in terms of a double opt-in. And I don't want to get into the technology side of that because it's really technical. But more importantly is this. I think if you want to leave them with one message today, if you are going to be sending something to somebody, it has to be something that they really would be interested in reading and they would like to see. Don't waste their time sending out, just rate sheets. We want to send out valuable content that people are going to be very interested in. So that's where I see the decade going, Leo.
That's great, Chris, and I appreciate that. Once again, you've added invaluable information, and for the folks listening in today, watching this video, I'd like to continue bringing in value to the table for you, and on our next shoot, I'd like to bring in possibly a lender, maybe professionals from either the government, CMHC, and Genworth, and talk about a bit more about market changes. So once again, for those of you looking for more information, feel free to visit my website, www.mortgagestreaminc.com, or simply give me a call, 416-356-6968. Again, Chris, thank you so much
Leo,
for
an
coming into
absolute
our
honor.
studio
And thanks
today.
for having me on Mac TV.
Pleasure.